Hi everyone, welcome to the Sounds from Scotland podcast for November. We're looking to include more music communities from the Scottish American and Celtic communities around the US. And so this month, we are featuring our very own Calum Pasqua. He's based in Brooklyn and is one of the leading fiddle players in the US. And so he'll be introducing us to the Celtic and Scottish music scene in New York. But before we get into that, let's hear a little bit from Calum and his fiddle playing.
So I got really, really into music very early on with influences from both my parents. My mom was a Scottish country dance teacher, as well as her sister, Nancy, here in the New York City area. And the moment I started playing fiddle, I was playing fiddle tunes for dances. So that's how I got my start playing for folk music, generally. My father's influence was more of opera and classical music and operatic or orchestral music he was very into. And those were my two introductions, basically. So I grew up with Scottish dance music and Pavarotti arias in my house, which was a nice mix. I wanted to express how much Celtic music scene in New York City has grown over the last just even a couple of years. I would say in the last 5 years, we've had a huge amount of people coming here and establishing new roots and using New York City as a home base. We have Alistair White, who is the great fiddler from the Battlefield Band, and he's a brilliant soloist as well. He lives here in the Bronx, New York, along with his wife. We have Andrew Forbes, a really, really great Highland bagpiper and bellows bagpiper, and he plays throughout all the boroughs, playing for weddings and performances and home concerts and various things you wouldn't really expect the bagpipes to turn up at. You'll see Andrew Forbes playing, and he is out of this world. He's one of the great pipers who expanded the repertoire and made it his own. He was able to improvise beyond what the tradition is. So those guys are really amazing to listen to, and we can get opportunities to hear them. We have a pub in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, that is now the home base of Scottish acoustic session music. A session is traditionally two people who are paid to be on the gig, and they'll play throughout the night. It's about 3 hours traditionally, but it's traditional. The tradition is to have people join in. So you'll have two people who are paid on the gig, and then others who join in and play along with the tunes. If you don't know the tune, ideally you sit back and not play. What I would do originally, I would just have my recorder device out and record the tunes I really liked that I didn't know, and then the following week I'd practice all throughout the week and then debut those tunes with other folks. So, but a session is basically a casual environment of sharing tunes and sharing songs that are in the style and idiom of the root of the theme of that session. So Monday nights at Iona in Brooklyn is Scottish. There are a huge amount of Irish sessions throughout all the boroughs from the Bronx to Brooklyn to Queens. And if you do some digging on Google, you'll find the entire calendar. They go from 5 p.m. all the way to starting at 10 p.m. late into the night. So if you're visiting New York and looking to play acoustic music, there is a tradition here that's strong and vibrant and welcoming. And again, players from around the world have now established New York as a home base. So you could sit in a session, turn to your right, and you'll see Kevin Crawford of Lunasa, who's a New York-based player now. You'll have Tony DeMarco, who is one of the great Sligo-style Irish fiddlers, born and raised here in New York. He could be sitting next to you, having a sip of whiskey and playing tunes in his fashion. So we're very lucky to have these artists here and sharing music so openly, so welcomingly. All righty.
Hello and welcome back to everybody's favourite comic relief section of Sounds from Scotland, where you watch me struggling to learn how to play the bagpipes. This time was hilarious. It was so fun. My wife and I were in Arizona, so there's some really nice backdrops as well of me learning. Enjoy. I'm sorry for those of you that have to listen to this, but here is me learning how to play the bagpipes.
Hello again, and welcome back to the Sounds from Scotland podcast, where I am learning how to bagpipe currently in Arizona. That's the best one yet, like all together. That'll do. That's all we're getting for now.
And this section of Sounds from Scotland is my musical spotlight, where I'm spotlighting Scottish musicians and bands that I'm enjoying listening to over the course of the months. This month is a band called Talisk, who are from Glasgow. They're composed of Mohsen Amini, Benedict Morris, and Graham Armstrong, and they're fantastic. I love listening to the traditional music that they make. Check them out. Very, very talented guys. And if you like traditional music, you'll love to hear the sounds from them. So here next on Sounds from Scotland is Talisk.
much for joining us for Sounds from Scotland November. Sounds from Scotland goes live every third Sunday of the month, and our Scots and Us podcasts are live every first and third Monday of the month. Our Sounds from Scotland Volume 1 album is available on all streaming platforms for purchase on iTunes and for purchase in a CD format on our store. For more information, go to AmericanScottishFoundation.org. Thank you for joining us, and see you next time on Sounds from Scotland.
Hicken pi, gör nocka jävna hin, hicken par, hicken pi, gör nocka, hicken pi, hicken pi, gör nocka jävna hin, hicken par, hicken pi, gör nocka, hicken pi, gör senor, tor, sen, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, sen, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, sen, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor, sen, senor, tor, senor, tor, senor, tor.